ready, eager to play. They're the last match. Solar hasn't played at all today, not a single time, and we are going straight in to control point on Li Zhang. Current lineups right now, we've got Bertfield, Sinarki, DPS, Rev, Tank, Paperclip, and Xerneas on that support line. We've got Nadiu Strider on that DPS line, as well as Pickle, Tank, Trico, Riska coming in for Parasite here on the on tower. So very curious to see what we're going to do here. Probably a lot of Brig, Juno, since Lucio is banned, but I guess only time will tell as our teams are gearing up to pick their pick their compositions, I guess. LOL.
Now I gotta ask. Surely we don't run out of this SIG.
They might be expecting a ball pick here. I'm not gonna hold you. They might be expecting the ball. Trico on the Kiriko. Yeah, I don't know. Trico on the Pickle ran it everywhere. Trico on the Kiri, Riskub on the Juno. This is a very greedy backline. Doesn't have a lot of sustain. Doesn't have a lot of peel. Pickle not on the ball, deciding to go for the Ram, which they definitely weren't expecting. But Rev matched with the Ram himself as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna see the two Tracers probably gonna spot each other almost immediately as they're in the same room here.
Same room indeed. Nadiu is currently winning this duel, maybe.
It could go either way, but talking about the tank trade can't go either way as Reverts here takes Pickle out right now, and that's a great position to start out if you're Solar, as it seems like the rest of Checkmate falls down.
Yeah, and good late pick from Nadius onto Xerneas, but they're going to get these staggers here because I don't know if Trico's going to get out. Yeah, really good stagger. Really heads-up play from Bertfield to take on Nadius in that corridors and make it a 4v4, and then Rev just kind of burnt through the armor of Pickle and he just fell apart. There's more sustain with this Brig Juno for Reverts than there is with the Kiriko Juno on the side of Checkmate, so they're not going to be able to really stay in a lot of long fights. They're going to have to make them quick.
Yeah, absolutely. Make them quick, or you could absolutely greed if you're a Trico here trying to find those soft targets, talking about which Paperclip does go down, but it is traded in reverse for the Juno, but we see Checkmate over here harassing Solar's Juno here. That's going to be most of their things. The only Paperclip remains, and they're in spawn. Nadiu's getting a lot of value here, but it looks like Solar's going to hold on tight.
And Rev, traditionally a hit scan player for Solar Eclipse, coming out on this Ram and he just run down the lobby. Now, we are going to see a bit of an ult trade here. Strider's going to be a little bit of a... Oh, what a stick onto Paperclip. It's going to delay this fight for Solar. They might have to back out here.
Yeah, they might need to back out. That's a great pick. Great pulse bomb here, but Trico does find Sinarki here. So that's a lot of frontline damage going down here. But Solar still has their driver's seat here. We're watching.
We're popping the Annihilation, and Nadius is going to get picked.
Yeah, Nadius gets picked. A beautiful Tracer clip here. Annihilation is popped now. Pickle does find Paperclip again. They've been the target of so many ults right now. We see the OC being popped by Strider, trying to find any value, trying to find the damage to deal onto the tank. However, Pickle is now going down. Sinarki finds one, followed by Xerneas.
Wow.
Sinarki actually finds three. My bad. Let me hold my tongue there. And it looks
I don't know if they're going to get a touch. This is going to be 100-0 and Solar. You know, there's a screenshot out there, and I'm sure they're going to post it after this match if they win. Solar was chosen by every single person in the podcast yesterday to lose this in a 2-0 fashion to Checkmate. And, you know, we haven't seen Pickle on the ball yet versus Solar. But in the Ram mirror, Solar's definitely favorited.
Yeah, you haven't seen Pickle on the ball, but I was about to say, as we see him swap almost immediately, this is the map to play it.
Yep, this is not to play it, but here's the crucial difference. Parasite doesn't get to run the Lucio. So we're going to be sticking on the composition for the... I'm going to see the Brig Juno come out, and I like this a lot better. You get more sustain, but you can't follow up with your ball as well. So it's going to be up to Solar to go for this backline and not die from the displacement that is Pickle's ball as we head into round 2 for Li Zhang.
Yeah, absolutely. We're seeing the Pickle's ball taking a cheeky angle, just getting some scouting information. Strider also getting spotted out. Sinarki already on that Sojourn can definitely put Strider in check. And that's going to be a big thing as we see the two Tracers here dueling. Pickle, however, 4 deep, really kind of just surviving because of that ball's ability to eat shields right now.
I agree. And Strider kind of being kept at bay. Every time he pokes his head, he's just getting really low. But good follow-up from Strider to come in towards the end of that to follow up on the damage done by Pickle. No point cap for either team yet. This is a very scrappy fight, but I think it's heading towards Checkmate's way.
Yeah, Checkmate looks like, unless something wild happens, it looks like Checkmate's going to have it, and they're just burning down the Ram here.
We're down the Ram indeed, and we're coming up on an early barrage and an early pulse here on the side of Checkmate. Birdfield not too far behind. We're going to see a cast swap, which I like a lot better. You can hit more consistent shots on the Pharah, and you can stop the ball. You know, maybe Solar has a better idea of how they want to play versus Checkmate here, but we'll have to see. Sinarchy with the pick on Nautilus, not a good start to this fight for Checkmate.
And not a good start, especially since that ult of the Pulse Bomb was coming out. You see this cast of Sinarchy just marking this ball, making sure the approaches will not go uncontested here. Birdfield, however, is battling over here. Reese Cub can't find it quite yet, looking to get his team back. Barrage, basically point blank, not finding anything. Nautilus finds Birdfield here. However, Sinarchy quickly trades that.
Yeah, and the point. Oh, in a fraud, and they got the point in them as well. Late killing the Trico is not good. And they extended Barrage, and they followed up on that quickly. So now, the ult advantage is heavily in the hands of Solar here, as Pickle hasn't even built mines yet, because he just hasn't been able to do anything.
Yeah, right now they're playing Solar so well. They know you need to kind of group up with if this ball comes up, but talking about which, Pickle finds a beautiful boop and leads to the rest of the team following up on Sinarchy. A Brig ult is going to come out on the board trying to stabilize this fight as Xerneas goes down. Talking about ults, we have the Annihilation coming out. Paperclip going down to Pickle here. It's not looking good for Solar as most of their team is going down. Talking about which Sinarchy and Birdfield find it. Yeah, that was a beautiful roll across the bridge, but this Juno is at 1 health. If anything looks at her wrong, it's going to be it. Pickle throws a wild mine trying to catch Sinarchy here, but nothing. You know, Solar is still in this and still gaining quite rapidly on.
Yeah, and the amount of trust that they have each other to pop ults when they're down is just proving to be fruitful for Solar Eclipse, because, you know, Pickle swapping to the Malga, realizing the ball is not doing a thing. Very interesting swap here. Going to put a lot of pressure on the backline, but the sustain is real, and the ultimate trade's coming definitely heavily in favor for Solar, as we have a little bit of a Tracer duel towards the end there.
Yeah, with Tracer duel and Trico found out, trying to hide behind the Brig shield, could not. It looks like the Rams trying to find that in, but Strider does find Birdfield here. Here comes the orbital for a stick onto Xerneas by not a use here. Sinarchy does find Pickle, though. That's a tank that's missing on the field. The Pharah of Strider is still trying to find it. Finds Paperclip, not a use. Finds Sinarchy finally. And it looks like Checkmate is going to have this point back.
It is indeed. They did have to use a lot of ults just to get it. Solar did invest in ults because, you know, they have that trust in each other. They believe that it was winnable. They're only going to have this barrage, and it got so easily shut down last time. I didn't even get a single kill. Birdfield coming up on the pulse. Rev coming up on that Annihilation. He's been so big with them all series long. They're going to play this White Room, which is better brawl for them, as Pickle looks to be going in. Wants to cut off this angle. Oh, we have a DC. Got a hard DC. Which unfortunately means Rev is going to be very behind on that ult charge, and Phil got picked off by not a use.
Yeah. You'd have to just regroup at this point, and, you know, unfortunate that Ram got DC'd. You're going to lose all that ult, and like you said, he's been big with these annihilations, basically saving his team, especially on the last fight.
Agreed, and, you know, we're, especially on that last fight there. Just waiting for Rev to get back in here. It does hurt that he's going to be behind on the ult charge, but Pickle not too far up on the Maga ult here, so you have that going for you. That is a saving grace. Rev did start playing Overwatch, so he should be back in lobby in here just a moment, and as soon as he joins, we're going to get the okay from teams to go in. It feels like the backline for Solar is just living a lot longer than the backline of Checkmate, and that's something you hate to see.
Yeah, Solar's backline looking pretty strong right now. I just think it's kind of small misplays as we see, like... No, I forgot, this is on delay. My bad. But, like, yeah, we saw Trico try to hide behind that Brig shield. kind of get caught out. So I think it's just positioning for the support line.
I have to agree. And Strider looks like he wants to press the issue with his ult here, playing really. We know Strider; he's aggressive. It's all or nothing for him. I wonder if they're going to spot check him. Rev matching the Malga. We have dueling Malgas on Legion Tower.
Yep,
And they know that Strider's there. If he gets picked, this could be detrimental. He's going to get the health packs. He's going to be healing. He's going to be able to live. Pulse finds nothing on the side of Solar.
Yeah, to be fair, the pulses have been kind of silent, but talking about which isn't silent, Strider goes down in a flaming heap right now.
There are no ultimates up on the side of Checkmate right now. Trickle trying to do anything he can just to pull off Snarky. Snarky's going to live because of the speed ring.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a beautiful talking about. Xerneas finds it. Burtfield finds the Trico here. Here comes the Justice. Revert have no idea what's going on, but Not a Use finds Paperclip, so they have an idea. Tracer's off, gets flashbanged, and it looks like all she wrote.
Solar taking a dominant 2-0 over Checkmate here. Checkmate came into this series as favorites, and we're going to have to see what they get their heads together for as we go into what could be the last map of the day one. Burtfield felt like he made a load of difference on that Tracer. Not a Use felt like he was winning a lot of those exchanges, but just the pacing from Solar, like Rev and Shredder were so locked in on that backline, just so punishing on Trico and Reese. They definitely limited Checkmate by not having their Lucio in. They banned the Lucio. That was a good ban. Can't do it again, though. So we'll have to see where these bans and map picks go next.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, we know Pickle likes his ball. That's been obvious. So what map do you think they're going to do to capitalize on that? Or
here's the thing, though. Since our rules are different, they have to choose between map pick or hero ban, and they're going to take the map pick. So let's go ahead and get map, and then we're going to go into the bans. And, I was thinking if you want to hold on to the ball, maybe you gonna ban the Tracer from Burtfield. They're probably thinking that Nadius is more flexible than Burt. Um, I could see that. Never mind. They're going to take their Tracer player out, actually, entirely. We're going to see Know My Name Jeff come in for the first time all night. He hasn't played a single map yet, so let's see how he does. So gonna get Reese out. Parasite's coming in for Reese. Have to imagine they're gonna play the. Where is Jeff? Is Jeff in lobby? Fine. Well, this isn't even NA prod. This is just team prod.
Too many people standing in one room.
Yeah. But this is a good game that we've got going on. I think they're gonna invite Jeff to lobby here soon. If you are, yep, there he is. If you are Checkmate, how do you get back into this game?
How do you get? I think just got to clean up the back line, and I'm not gonna trash Pickle. Great ball. I just wasn't convinced on the Malga. Maybe you extended a little too far, especially that last fight. You kind of slammed into the back line, got burnt with a fan the hammer and a few other abilities. So look at the back line, try to clean that up a bit. Pickle, maybe now that he's off the ball, so we just gotta have better tank play there.
Yeah, I agree. And we're gonna see Parasite come in for Reese. Nadius is coming out for Jeff. Strider staying in, of course, and we're still waiting for the substitutes from Solar coming in. They know that they could win this in a 2-0 fashion, despite not being the underdogs here. They know they could win this, so they have to. So they're probably taking their time on it. It's the last stream of the game, so as much as I'm sure you and I would like to be done here because we go for a couple hours, the teams fortunately can take their time as there's no other games after. Speaking of which, no other games being after, we do have a couple of games that we are going to be casting and streaming tomorrow. We're going to have two separate streams. We got an A stream and a B stream. Shout out Pickle and his crew for the B stream that's going to be occurring tomorrow live on our YouTube. A stream's going to be here on Twitch, streaming 3 games. Pickle and his crew's getting the other 2 games. It's going to be a really fun day of Overwatch. Hopefully, we won't be falling behind since there'll be 2 separate streams. Who knows? Just make sure that you are here for all of it. Okay, so we are swapping Sanarki in for Hibu. Hibu, traditionally the dive player in for Solar Eclipse. Tina or Saturn going to be coming in for Zonius, which I also like that. So we're going to see if they're ready here. Rev, I presume, staying on that DPS, I imagine. Probably coming off of tank. Paperclip Winston, LOL. I'll tell you what, we haven't had quite a chatty match in match chat, unlike this game. Solar's been talking just about every game. I think that I think the vibes are high with Solar Eclipse right now.
I mean, you're up 1-0 to a team that just won their match, and so I'd be feeling pretty good if I was them.
I would agree. Burtfield saying that his Lucio is not real.
I too refuse to believe the character's real.
You refuse to believe that Lucio's real?
Not Lucio, as I play too much Lucio.
I see.
I'm
You're
a
Lucio main?
I know I'm a Lifeweaver one trick now.
Oh, GG's. Yeah. Well, we're banning this guy.
Yeah, don't worry, I get that all the time.
I mean, I'll play Lifeweaver, but as a tank, when I'm playing tank and I'm going in for a kill and someone just gets scripted out, it's the most demoralizing thing. I use so many cooldowns to go kill him, and he just pulls out.
I am here to spread the good word of Lifeweaver. May I have your attention, please?
Well, as we wait for these teams to get in, I am going to step away for just a second. I'll be right back. I'm going to go grab something to munch on since we're waiting for Checkmate, and so to get back in just a moment. If you're mad about me walking away, I've been here for 6 hours. You can DM my lawyer. I don't have one.
That's right. He's free for litigation.
Free for litigation. Still waiting for Checkmate to be R. Solar is R. We'll be right back. All right, we've got the R on both sides. We're going in for what could be our final map of the series, or maybe we get blessed with a third map, Game 3, 1st to 2 series as our final stream for the viewers. So let's see who's going to win this. Is it going to be Solar? Or is it going to be Checkmate? I gotta check to see if Solar won a D, but I guess it doesn't matter now. GG's.
We'll do it live as we look at this picture of a beautiful man here.
We'll do it live! We'll do it live! We'll do it live!
Ready for battle.
A hazard duel in the Big 2-5. I quit.
As you know, armor broken, so any damage reduction plus armor makes sense. You know, we.
I agree. This is. What are you seeing from these two different compositions? It looks like Pikmin wants to go fast, and Solar's going to look to slow down the pace.
Yeah, I think you're actually dead on. The only question mark I have is the Widow, but I think it's just going to be the first shot. Maybe you see a double flex DPS here, maybe see the Tracer come in as well. But this is a very aggressive comp that Checkmate is running right now.
We'll have to see how Solar responds. The Pharah, I'm actually a fan of. I'm a fan of this Pharah right here.
Really?
Yeah, because if you're wanting to play slow anyway, you can just space the team out. As long as you don't get picked off by Widow.
You were saying.
Yeah, so GG's. Checkmate's going to walk forward now.
God, we've had some great timing on this stream, talking about which we see the Ashe trying to take that duel here, but the Genji is going to force them back. Is that the Nerf collab skin? No. Might be. Let's talk about what... Yeah, another headshot, not my name, Jeff, also finding one. Bertfield finally trading out the Widow that clipped his wings, but Checkmate looking like they're going to capture first point pretty easily.
Pretty easily. They're going to have 5 minutes in the bank here. The View Solar... Oh, we're seeing a bit of a comp swap. They just want to play quick as well, but Rev on this Ashe, I mean, he's not going to be able to go with you.
No, but you're hoping for that opening damage, maybe a dink or two. That's what's going to open up for the Hazard just to go in and slash. Hazard known to absolutely just annihilate squishies, so... But the big thing you gotta look out here is this Pharah. Alright, as we saw, got picked off before, and, you know, this Ashe cannot compete with Strider on that Widow as they find another one, and probably on the most important one, the Kiriko.
Yeah, it just doesn't matter how you set up or if your composition's better. If Strider's hitting shots, it's lights out. There's nothing to do about it. And Pickle's getting low. They're winning a lot of these cooldown battles. That's a bad stagger. But Strider's just taking over the lobby. Period.
Right now, Strider is just acting as GM because this lobby is his to control. He tells the players where to go and how to do it. We still see Bertfield running in this Pharah and gotta start questioning it, you know. Not going to be great into this small alleyway where they know what angles you're going to come into.
Yeah, and Solar just taking their time knowing that sights are out. Bertfield, I can comp by this Genji over here.
Yeah, definitely looking at the sights big, huge actually for the information game. We see a Widow duel coming out now. Vert's going over to it to try to stop Strider here. Ooh,
Pickle's going to get caught early.
Maybe too aggressive here. Bertfield does find some picks and leverage onto that Pharah. And now having opened up this map, that Pharah does become more viable than it did before.
So we are going to have a Pharah. We have the same composition right now. It's just Pharah versus Genji. I prefer the Pharah because as long as you don't die to the Strider Widow, you can do whatever you want. No one can look at you. And Rev, I mean... He doesn't even have to hit every headshot. As long as he just keeps Strider at bay, it's going to be really hard for Pickle and them to go in.
The I'm the opposite right now. I love the Genji more. You can get on top of this Widow. You can help with backline assist and sightlines. And we see Kitsune Rush. We see the rain come in. Burtfield is caught and just immediately wiped off the map. So allows Strider to get an infinite positioning. Not my name Jeff trying to fight this high ground, trying to make sure everyone is off it. And eventually Checkmate do win it with all those ults used. But now it is Solar's turn as they have almost all their ults.
And they're not pushing card either.
You're absolutely right, Saturn. Here comes the ults. We see the Justice. We see the Beat. That basically gets everyone. If you only had to do 2 ults, you're still driving pretty if you're Solar.
Yeah, and that's not a good fight for Checkmate because they used a lot of ults there. The only thing they have is the Blade, and yeah, you got Beat out, so there's a win con for it. But Saturn or Tina could just pop this Kitsune and just go literally nuts with it, and that's an early sights, which I like because you're denying. Sorry, wow, on stream that's crazy. Oh,
you don't shoot that.
You can't shoot that. You can't shoot that, Rev.
That's going in a highlight reel. I can guarantee it. This Blade is going to be nutty now. Especially here it comes. Trying to find that fire, but Strider already finds it. Rain is popped to try to kill the Genji. Not my name is Jeff having a tournament right now. Trico finds Saturn. It is just 2 hazards blocking at each other.
We're just staying alive, but yeah, that's going to be all she wrote, I'm afraid, as Strider's going to get the kill onto Rev, and he was going to get booped off points, so we can't even get the touch. So we're going to see the swap off fire on this point, which that makes sense. We're going to go to the Freya here. You have to imagine you're going to get a lot more value on this Freya than you would far.
Yeah, especially on this point, the chokes, really great for your explosive vault, and when you get that Bolo, which is basically just a second cooldown, it has plenty of potential to do as much damage as it needs to do.
Exactly. Curious to see when Strider's going to pop these sites, as it's the only ultimate to their name. Saturn probably needs to go quick with this Kitsune here, just to kind of take the tempo back in control.
Yeah, but while it is out, we do see the 2 hazards looking at each other, just staring. But we're having a team fight in an area we normally don't have. Everyone comes out healthy, though. Talking about which this Widow has been found with the Genji hazard looking at him. Genji is now separated from his team. It looks like that's going to be all she wrote for Not My Name Jeff, but Strider is just dominating this Widow duel. No one shutting him down.
Yeah, I mean, we gotta press the initiative. We gotta push the button. We gotta get this Kitsune rush out. I mean, I'm not sure what we're waiting for, but they're down there, Genji. I mean, we gotta get going.
Yeah, absolutely. This would be the great time to do it. Here comes the rain. It's gonna capture 2. That's gonna take both your DPS out of the fight. Trico finds it. Burtfield does find Strider, though. Pickle's rain is good for what it needs to do here. Some beautiful shots out. Here comes the Kitsune Rush that you've been asking to. Responded by with both a Beat and Kitsune Rush on the side of Checkmate. They are hunting this Lucio down, not finding any value. Trico maybe have gone too deep, punished. Pickle, however, does find Burtfield, though. And so this fight is still going either way. They're hunting the Kiriko down. They have no TP. Reverts gets it. Strider gets it. Not My Name Jeff finds the Kiriko. Here, Solar on the back foot, only having 3 players left here. Not My Name is Jeff is tearing through the support line. Here comes the rain, trying to find any value here. Kiriko's back on the point, trying to find Burtfield once more. Stalls from this is crazy. It's kind of hard to kill this hazard, especially how deep they last. And finally, Checkmate push it through.
A couple mistakes made by Solar that Checkmate did a really good job capitalizing on. The fact that Checkmate had 5 minutes to start and only finished with 1, that's good. You'll take that. You need to finish better. You need to finish with more time. I'm just sensing a level of hesitancy on this side of Solar that you can't have right now. Going into this, you got to be proactive in what you're doing. And right now, I mean, looking at the final blows, we're just getting gapped across the field right now.
Yeah, you got to have that answer for Strider's Widow just being. Just holding this lobby hostage. I mean, looking at some of these angles is crazy. At one point, he was on top of the cart on 3rd, looking to the left, just right there in front of everyone, and no one looked at him. So you gotta have an answer. A Widow shouldn't be that cocky,
I agree. Okay, this is interesting. We're gonna see the Freya with. They're gonna go to Hazard, surely. No, a Freya with an Echo. And then Paperclip going back to that Ana with the Kiriko, and I actually don't mind that when we're attacking because you can set up a good ante and just play back and kind of live, and if Hazard goes on you, it's a 1-1 trade. Maybe you sleep him, maybe you anti him, you just go crazy. The Fury can go with whoever they need to. So not. Oh, we're gonna swap to the Lucio, which
Surely he swapped off the Reinhardt. There it is.
Yeah, there it is. See if we can get an early dynamite. We're not gonna get it. Yeah, I mean this composition just wants to play fast, and Checkmate wants to play more defensively with the Ana break.
More defensively, and right now Trico Parasite having that advantage, being sustainable, you have to have everyone on top of them, or you can just have Verts right now take out not my name Jeff, so your backline's going to sit pretty, going to be able to rotate players where they need to be. Pickle, however, a lot of damage by Verts here. Paperclip does find Parasite. Pickle is just getting peppered by damage, eventually found out, and why play defense on the first point when we love to see all the other ones?
I don't know if we love to see all the other ones, but that was a similar push time. They did a really decent job there. I don't know if, when you were running that Hazard mirror with the Lucio Kiriko, you were winning a lot of those exchanges. I don't know if it's worth it to stay on the Ana brig on this point. I just think that speed in this game will always be superior.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a backline like a legendary never mind, hold on.
The trades.
Gonna have a stroke. Yeah, trades are happening, guys. Verts kills Parasite, however, is then traded out immediately afterwards, so we're down to DPS if you're Solar and down a support. But right now, you're absolutely right. Parasite only at 36% of their ult, so maybe you could see a switch up here coming in.
Yeah, I mean,
in chat.
They called pause. I see pause. Okay.
Still fighting.
Yeah, a bit of a pause there. I think Bert was probably the one who had to pause there. I think he just kind of stood still and tried to shut him down. The Ashe hasn't been talked a lot about on the side of Checkmate. It provides for better poke. It does provide for better poke. On the side of there, we are hearing that Tina's having DC issues. Ultimate-wise, the Lucio and the Kiriko are pretty close, and Parasite's so far behind just because they've died so often, but this Nano is coming up pretty quick. Kibu leading in the Hazard exchange, but not by much, and then Rev coming up on his first frail, not two of his, actually maybe a second or third, I don't know. Trey just gets old like that. Not too big of a surprise. Very good hero in terms of that. So just have to see how these teams react. You're down one coming back, so you're gonna have to probably just back out, I would assume.
I wouldn't even say that. Right now they're in a good position just to kind of draw a front line, get some more ult charge going. And then, it's a Genji, so it's going to come back quite fast here.
Yeah, I agree. Genji will be back in a moment. Just waiting for Tina to get their probably latency down. While we're doing that, I'm just going to make sure lobby set to central. It should be. Okay, there are... Making sure both teams are ready before we go in. I'm assuming Checkmate's probably ready and eager to go in. Okay, and we are unpausing. We're going back in. You're right. The Genji will probably be back. We're probably going to see a backpedal here on the side of Solar. No way they still fight this with the man advantage. And yeah, early kill.
Execute by Pickle.
Yeah, good slash. I'm not seeing a lot of high ground being contested. It's just kind of a mix here and there. I feel like we're just letting that Ana sit back there, and we have a rush comp. They can't, chase us. We really shouldn't let that happen.
Yeah, you definitely need Paperclip to start rotating your players a bit far, because just dueling this, I mean, I guess you could just put all the resources in a Pickle, but like you said, Trico can just nano Pickle here, and that's all the survivability you need. So maybe you gotta go faster or slow it down.
Yeah, I think the solution is you gotta get high ground and you gotta run down that Ana. We're just letting her sit back there with the Ashe and do anything. Yeah, the brick could peel for her, and maybe if you're fortunate, my name Jeff and Pickle fall behind. But we're just letting them sit up pretty with the high ground advantage. We're not even trying to rotate. We're just pushing point, and we're just taking so much unnecessary poke.
Yeah, absolutely. And now we see the rain coming in and trying to catch anything. Suzu whiffs it. Here comes the beat. Here comes the blade. So far, nothing found by not my name Jeff. 6-man is on the field. Bob is there. Parasite gets Verts here. However, Pickle is found out by. Ooh, Bob gets another kill.
DPS.
And that's gonna help.
Yeah, and Solar's just gonna back up. The good thing is you used one ult for the price of 1, 2, 3, 4. They only have the rally. You have the blade. You have another Freya. You got the hazard ult. You've got the Kitsune. Surely we can definitely push the point here now and just go crazy with it. Oh, but not if Strider gets a pick.
Yeah, you're gonna hope this blade comes up big. Absolutely, Vert gets parasites. This Ana is by themselves, but Bertfield is getting hunted down. 100 health. Still getting hunted down. You see the Ana and Genji hit squad, but that leaves Pickle in a precarious situation where they do not get the health because the Ana was too busy tracking those kills. So, still very winnable for Solar here. Ooh,
not if Strato just goes uncontested. I mean, he's been doing everything he can to keep checkmate in this map, and we can see a little bit more now that Pickle is out of the equation. You've got a huge ult advantage, but Nano's up again. We got to start doing something with these ults.
Yeah, absolutely. You gotta start executing these ults. Maybe just throw them fast. Here comes a rally. Trico pops the Nano onto the Brig, so we got a raid boss Brig. That's never gonna die there. We see the Kitsune rush going down mid. Maybe he was trying to go down for high ground, but you just gotta question it. You're not getting any value here. No, my name Jeff is getting value though. 2 kills. Trico finds Saturn at the end of the day.
Seeing the Hanzo swap, that's interesting. Maybe they don't feel like they can match the Ashe. So we're living and dying by this Freya. Still have a bit of an ult advantage because it's been so long since Checkmate has really had a chance to build up ults. They've just been getting picks left and right and center. But we really got to go quick, and Rev just taking so much unnecessary poke.
Yeah, Rev going down. Jeff just being able to slice and dice as soon as his team calls the targets low.
Good Kai from Checkmate, realizing they don't have to push forward. Big pick! And Strider is down. The raid boss is down.
Yeah, absolutely. Target number 1 is down. Beautiful rain coming in. Gets the Ana here. Allows Bertfield to get the storm arrows into her, and we're going to finally see some progress from Solar.
Yeah, and they're going to build up that beat again versus the Bob Blade. Good wall. Maybe we could see a kill on the Pickle. Hazard ult coming up as well. Solar's going to have to pull some strings, serious strings, to get anything done. Hazard miss. And he's won.
Yeah, Hazard absolutely whiffs on the rain. That's fine, though. No, my name Jeff finds the kill. Strider finds another one. Parasite, another one. And the 6-man Bob finds 2.
That's not the worst thing in the world because you can still get a touch. Paperclip is going to have that beat for the Blade. We're coming up on Nano maybe here. Hebu swapping to the Doom for some sort of touch. You didn't need to swap there. You had touch, but that's fine. Bertfield going to have the late heroics and maybe some sort of ult.
Oh.
Okay. Right.
Someone shut Strider down. Here comes the beat. Almost an Ajax. Oh my.
Had to beat early just to get the point. No, my name Jeff cannot die here. Paperclip getting picked early, and this is looking like it's going to be lights out. Solar just kind of looked like they were all over the place and didn't know how to handle that defense. So we are going to a map 3 to decide it all. Checkmate versus Solar. You got to think that Solar made some mental mistakes there. It just felt like we kept getting picked for no reason.
I think Strider, play of the game here, like we've been saying this whole time, just controlled this lobby. This was all Strider here.
Yep, Strider. This was Strider's legacy game. If Checkmate goes on to win this will be Strider's legacy game. But the ball is in the hands of Solar now. They want to hold on to Ban or they want map pick.
Hollywood was Solar's?
No, that was Checkmate. Checkmate chose Hollywood.
Checkmate chose Hollywood. Where would you want to go?
If I'm Solar, I'll probably try to force the Ram mirror. Maybe you hold on to that. Maybe you hold on to that ball. No, you've already banned ball, so you can't. But I would try to force the Ram again.
Yeah, definitely looks stronger against Pickles. Ram.
Yeah, Piccolo seemed a lot better on that Malga. More comfortable. They just seemed like they knew what they wanted to do. The speed wasn't, I feel, properly utilized on the side of Solar. I just felt like they weren't really getting in there as a team. Just a lot of unnecessary poke going on.
I think going through those archways that they did on Hollywood was probably the worst thing. Like, there is so many more options to go, and it's not like, sure, Strider can throw a dynamite, but you just kept going straight and just kept getting picked.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine, like, these teams gotta be theory crafting their brains out right now, trying to figure.
Yeah, the series has definitely swung back and forth. It's probably one of our best series for tonight.
Yeah, definitely. We're gonna go to New Queen Street.
Ooh, we haven't seen that one.
Yeah. Okay, so we actually are going to New Queen Street. They got to pick a Flashpoint map. It has to be Flashpoint. Push will not be available until later on. I was going to say New Queen Street might have been a bad pick on the side of Solar because I do know that Checkmate has an interesting composition, to say the least, on the side of New Queen Street. They run a really interesting composition there. So we'll have to see.
We talking interesting as in like DB interesting, or interesting as in like, oh, it might actually make sense.
They run a Ball Sombra Venture with a Lucio Zen. It actually works.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah, they use the Zen as bait, and then the Sombra Ball Venture just run wild.
Wasn't that what Falcons used back in 2000? I think mid stage to 2024.
I'm new to OWCS, so I don't know.
Oh, okay, never mind.
So decisions. They're going for the map pool. They're going for the map pick. They obviously don't want to play versus the. Well, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Do you hold the ban? Do you go for the map pick? Decisions here.
I don't. I don't think the hero ban's all too important. I think the map.
Yeah.
Controlling what map you go to is probably the better one.
I will say the only instance in which it worked is when DB held that hero ban for Sarabasa and got to force the Joker Queen. So that was an instance in which it could work, but most of the time, yeah, I feel like you got to go with map pick.
And so we're heading over to Flashpoint, right?
Banning the Cassidy.
Okay.
God. Seen a lot of Cass fans today. What's up with that? Just good Tracer players?
I wouldn't even say just good Tracer players. I think Cass is a solid overall hero. You can have him sitting with the front line with a tank. You know, it's going to put consistent damage onto the opposing front line. But if there is the Tracer, you know, obviously you got that flashbang. We know Ball's been played a lot in this server. So it also does have that hinder effect. So I think Cass right now is in a great state.
We are banning the Kiriko. I like this ban. Can't ban the Lucio, so ban what Trico's been going crazy on. You got to ban that Kiri, and it's gonna force Checkmate to adapt to what they want to run. I'm sure we're gonna see Nada use come in because that's what they've probably been the Cassidy for. Just get the Tracer in. Surely there'll be swaps on the side of Solar, probably as well. Who knows what we'll see. Solar probably has swaps coming in. No swaps on the side of Checkmate, so they feel confident in this lineup to go win it all without flex player. So I don't know. Again, Checkmate heavily favored to win this composition. So in a 2-0, to win this match. So in a 2-0 nonetheless. So the fact that it's 1-1, speaks a lot. What is happening in this match, chat?
I think you're getting called out. That's what I'm looking at right now.
I know they're talking. I'm just saying, tell me swaps when ready. Jesus. We're gonna see Xerneas come back in. So map 1 lineup, 1 UA map makes sense. Stay with it. They're ready, waiting on the R from Checkmate, and then I'm doing sign language. Okay, they're still feeling themselves. As long as the vibes are still up, anything's possible, right? We're going in for our final map. Winner takes all. Checkmate could go 2-0, or Solar can play spoiler and make him go 1-1 and leave Blackout as the only undefeated team tentatively left in the standings, which would be super interesting. Yeah, nothing's hidden. Rev's gonna run the ramp. It showed you a lot of success on map 1. It makes sense to go back to it. Snarky Burtfield did really well on the DPS lineup. Not that Rev went bad. I mean, I just felt like his Freya was a little ambitious. I felt like he took a lot of unnecessary angles at times. I would have seen him much rather swap over to something to challenge Strider on the hit scan more consistently, especially because Burtfield couldn't play the Tracer, so he was really limited in that. Curious to see what Pickle runs here. Ball is back on the table, but your Kiriko is banned. Oh, here we go. This is the new Queen Street comp, just without the Lucio.
This is a comp that makes plenty of sense. I actually love this comp.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna overwhelm what Solar's looking to do. If they take the angles versus like the way they did versus DB, it could be an easy 3-0 here. Seeing late swap. Oh, Pickle's gonna shot them out of spawn and then probably go back to the ball. No Zinyatta. Maybe Parasite's just speeding them out of spawn.
You've been doing this for too long and we're overthinking it.
Yeah, we're overthinking. I've been out here for too long. He's sticking to the Lucio, which I prefer over the Zens, and probably just getting run over. But that might make it easier for Rev to just kind of run mayhem as we get started here on this first point.
Well, yeah, if you're playing this Lucio Ana, your Lucio is going to be the only thing right next to it, and right now it's going to be a great time to run over that Ana without that Lucio speed boost. Trico does get Synarchy. No, my name Jeff finds Xerneas here. Paperclip going down as we see Pickle running rampant right now.
Rev finds Trico and might kill the Venture here. He actually does. If he gets his health back, it could still be winnable, but they'll clean him up here. Burfield probably just gonna get out.
Yeah, but those were absolutely some big picks. And you can see this will allow his team to come back, start battling for position on this point, but, Pickle still very much healthy here.
Yeah, we're gonna see the D.Va swap over the Ram, which I think versus this comp you gotta have some peel. I could see that. Oh, Pickle probably gets CC'd out. Yep, he's gonna get out.
Yeah, Pickle gets out. Gonna have to look for the healing from either his team or a health pack, but that gives the positioning over to Solar for a second. Pickle goes in super low as Strider finds the better of Burtfield on side alley here. Xerneas does find Pickle at the end, so we're probably gonna see Solar capturing this point. They finally do. 73% on board for Checkmate.
Yeah, and they're gonna get a late pick on the Strider, which is good. And what I will say, Solar was doing correctly is they're just forcing point, like they're consistently just ignoring the ball and going to point, which is better for them in this composition. Burfield using the pulse early, didn't find anything with it. Late Nano coming up against this rally and potential General WC, but we got Bomb and we've got oh, you gotta get out of there. He should. Yeah. Oh, he's gonna get caught. That was ambitious.
Yeah, Burfield maybe playing a little too outside the field right now. Ganged up by 3 here. No, my name Jeff. Burrow. Yeah, absolutely. Getting that Tracer, getting that off your back. Lucio's also going down here. Here comes the Synarchy. We got a Poco Bomb. Not finding anything for 2025, and we probably shouldn't have to do that. Rico does help fire Synarchy, though. Pickle is still on this ball, still harassing it. However, Solar is now taking the lead in score, 80% and counting.
Yeah, but they are going to have the ultimate Vanish coming in. They're going to have the Nano. They're going to have the Pulse. They're going to have the Venture. I mean, Solar might just want to try to drag this fight out as long as they can, but they're looking for the Ana. Just early Pulse onto Paperclip. Strider's Tracer, unironically, finding a lot of success here.
Yeah, absolutely. We see the beat coming out by Parasite here. Synarchy trading out Pickle. That's actually huge. Trico does get Synarchy at the end of it with a Nano. Here's a Nano Venture with an Orbital here. Gonna pop Xerneas down right now. Checkmate in control of the point. Here comes the excavation here. I do not remember what that ult's called because it's never used.
Lucio's one. If we could find him, we get the touch. We do. We kill the Tracer. Are we going to get another touch? We will. It's still very scrappy.
Yeah,
Lucio's so one.
The Lucio is still one and running rampant as they find the pick onto Strider. Paperclip finds No My Name Jeff, but Trico finds Xerneas. That's a lot of healing. Here comes another Poco Bomb, and of course, not finding anything. We gotta start coaching that guy. Stop using that like that. We have this OC not going to be used because Parasite finally goes down. Trico is also finds out. That's Checkmate's entire backline gone. Tracer's recall is being forced, so now it is who can touch the longest, and looks like Solar can hold on.
Yeah, this is close. Trico swapped to the Juno late just to try to get a touch. Ends up killing Xerneas with it, but just the sheer amount of trust that these teams have each other, consistently investing ults in fights that seem lost, and sometimes winning, sometimes losing, but that's part of the journey, and part of the journey is great. What the heck is that, Rev? Get that off my screen, bro.
God, I love that 5-inch death box right there. Basically touch the air, you're dead. Talking about which Trico's also found after using Fade. Here comes Burtfield finding Parasite. And that's going to force Checkmate back.
Force Checkmate back, indeed. And, we're seeing a swap off the Ana going Moria. And I feel like we should probably get off the ball at that point because there's just not going to be enough consistent healing for... Oh, and as I say that, Synarchy's going to get killed.
Synarchy goes killed. Pulse Bomb goes actually exactly where it's wanted. Paperclip found. Verts has this Poco Bomb again. Trico found out. Strider kills Burtfield, so it is just Verts right now on the point. Going to stall out as long as possible. Surely we do not use the bomb. We don't, so they got to kill this baby diva as fast as possible. 42% on the board for Solar as Checkmate finally gets some progress.
Good job holding on to that bomb in. I will say the pulse bomb actually hit the shield of Paperclip, but Pickle bashed Paperclip, so the pulse bomb broke. It fell on the ground and ended up killing us. So heads up play from Pickle. Ults are kind of in the favor of Solar right now, but we've seen what Pickle could do with these mines. Let's see if he can do it again.
Absolutely, we're going to see the two Tracers taking an angle here as we go to Pickle here, looking for this backline. Beautiful
big
shot
bash
by Paperclip here. We have the Diva on point. Here comes the minefields, trying to cut off that Diva from it. We have another Pokebomb going up, finding nothing. Strider, though, however, finds the better of the Tracer duel, killing Pokebomb. Synarchy pops this OC, trying to find anything. Pickle finds one on Paperclip. Verts finds Parasite. Xerneas going down. Strider, however, finds Synarchy. And Verts is just going to reset as fast as possible as 83% for Checkmate.
This is interesting. I don't know if we're going to Lucio for touch or what, but Burfield getting caught out early, probably being spy checked in the back line. Yeah, he's all the way back there. He's not going to get a touch. I don't know if we get a touch here. Yeah, it's just going to be point. Back onto the Brig, which is standard, but it feels like Strider's winning a lot of these 1v1s versus Burt, which is interesting because Nadius is the typical Tracer player for Checkmate. Strider just kind of whipping it out and just proving that he is him. For better or for worse, Strider is him.
Yeah, absolutely. Wouldn't hurt to have Strider on the fantasy team as we see this Tracer duel back in action again. Burtfield almost getting the better of Strider here. But it gets out. Diva going down super low. Here comes the orbital satellite. No, my name Jeff finds Paperclip before the healing can really come through. Burtfield gets Jeff. Verts gets Trico. They're hunting for this Lucio, but this time they can find it. Strider does get Synarchy, though. The Tracers are still on the field. They're still looking for each other.
Hungry.
They absolutely are, and we're seeing a recall force. Strider recalled next, so they're in advantage right now. Pickle still just spinning around, doing ball things. Verts finally puts Pickle down, and I think that's going to peel everyone off the point here as Parasite and the Respawners are now getting hunted down.
That was a really big brain play from Burtfield that I feel like we didn't really notice. Oh my god, what a pulse. He ended up forcing the recall out of Strider so he couldn't contest anymore, and then ignored the 1v1 and helped clean up Pickle. We are going to see a slight ult advantage favoring Checkmate here, but we do know that Revs, low-key, he's just been using this bomb to clear mines. That's all he's been doing. He's been using his ult to negate the other, so it kind of clears out. But an early pick on a Trico, and that's going to set Checkmate back a little bit. And surely, maybe Solar will follow up on this. Jeff? What are you doing, pal?
Yeah, Jeff.
Okay, he gets out.
Jeff is flirting with death there, going in, basically no health, and then going back. Somehow getting out.
Where's some recall out from Strider?
Yeah, here comes Pickle with the minefields, just trying to buy some space on the point. Solar is right now clicking up. Here comes Paperclip finding the wrong end of the Brigitte ult here. Here comes Pickle, but Pickle also getting stunned.
They beat this?
That was a great beat, I guess. You know, getting one, that definitely went off. That was a beat of all time here, as Solar is now probably just going to capture this point.
Definitely going to capture this point, and that was such a great rig bash from Paperclip. Notices that Jeff's out of position, probably looking to ult, just stuns him, kills him, and it feels like Arky is target number 1 for this Checkmate team. They're just going on him, but he's just living so much. I mean, he's not really showing up in the kill feed a lot, but he's just getting away with this double slide.
Yeah, absolutely. It's almost like it's a corny ability or something. Talking about which, Pickle going deep. However, Verts gets it. Parasite also. I don't know if he threw the bomb again, but I guess we're doing things with that. Know My Name Jeff also going to go down, so that's going to be Solar taking control of this whatever.
Yeah, taking this third point, and it feels like the series is... Oh yeah, you're right, 4th point, I guess. The series is starting to fall away, and it just feels like Solar is really starting to run away with this, just having an answer for this ball comp. Hey, DB, take notes. This is how you beat a ball comp in 2025. Bertfield coming up with the pulse bomb, you know, looking for something to do. The backline getting low here, and this fight's just chaos right now.
Yeah, Know My Name Jeff popping. They're all throwing it into a diva, so it's not going to find too much value. I think it has one more charge as he comes up. Doesn't. Trico does, however, Paperclip. Trico also finding Synarchy, so Amoira doing something in 2025. Know My Name Jeff also finding 2 picks, but it's a DPS, so it kind of should be figured. 55%, and the Baby Diva is going to come out, so we're going to see about 60% for Solar as Checkmate start their progress.
Yeah, and we're coming up on a big ult exchange here. They're going to have the mines, they're going to have the bomb, they're going to have the double pulses, they're going to have the coalescence, and Parasite's already getting dangerously low for whatever reason, but he's coming up on beat as well, and Argino has pulse bomb, and Strider's in his backline looking for something.
Yeah. Strider knows their target. He knows he wants to get either the Brig or the Juno, which is going to be floating around the backside here. Pickle slams, has the mine, so they can pretty much hold this angle as long as they want. Trico does pop the coalescence. Here comes the Poco Bomb for a 5th time and finally finds someone. That's why he does it 15 times. You'll eventually get one. Trust me.
Eventually you'll get one.
Yeah. Here comes the mines out for Pickles on the point. It's going to force Solar back. 70%. Pickle, however, is getting all the damage. Bertfield
and they beat it!
They got a 2-man beat, which is better than they did last time. Trico, however, is getting hunted down. Now the Fade is out. Know My Name Jeff has found Paperclip, though. Checkmate.
Need to follow up on some kills.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now we have the Orbital coming in. Know My Name Jeff going in again. Finding Xerneas. Know My Name Jeff been a silent hero so far in this match. Checkmate still holding on strong. It's just Verts left as they're trying to kill themselves as fast as possible. Here, and we're going to a final point.
Yeah, and just the stall. I mean, the mines on the point were just doing so much as we see Synarchy finally get off the Soj, decides that enough is enough and he needs some more mobility. There is a bit of kind of an ult trade-off. We've got Bomb for the, I don't know, the Expedition. I don't know. The Vigil here coming up. Trico coming up close to that Coalescence, about 50%. Probably going to have it at the end of this fight. And they're spy checking for this venture, but they ready to go in. Early pick on a Parasite. Can't have that happen.
Bert's getting Parasite is big, and then Know My Name Jeff just kind of dying. Looks like everyone, Trico finds Paperclip, Pickle's still of course alive because Ball has 1,000,000 health, so it's going to be Solar capturing the first point, and we just got to see if Pickle gets out of here alive.
Yeah, Strider and Bertfield, pretty much same percentage for ult here. Synarchy already about halfway to that ult. Still to the Vitriol to do something. Still watching this Rev Poco Bomb, as you like to call it. See what we can get done here, but not a lot of ults to exchange here, Alex.
So yeah, absolutely. We're waiting to see this excavation. This is more. I'm guessing it's another Poco Bomb, but Baby Diva is found out here. Excavation is good. Bertfield finding Trico, Strider finding Paperclip. Looks like we're going to have some fast resets by Solar as we have 50% on the board.
Yeah, that was just a beautiful play from Know My Name Jeff. He just drill dashed past the bomb and then killed the big man. Yeah, that was definitely Probably the most questionable buy rev so far. I know you're trying to zone off the venture ult, but dash is real. Now we've got a bit of an ult advantage. Checkmate. They could cycle this and make it in the series right here, Zach. Or a couple of fights, but you know what I meant.
Yeah, absolutely don't know who Zax is. So Xerneas does pop the torpedoes, is found. Verts gets the next one. Trico, however, does find Synarchy here. Paperclip is still very low, and that's exactly what this Coalescence is going to go and find out here. 63 and counting for Checkmate, so it is coming quickly here. 69. If they can stall this, maybe these are.
Yeah. Not a great fight for the side of Solar. You're gonna get another touch here, maybe just without your diva, but you did get ults out to an extent, but there's still the mines, and they're just mining early. They might not even touch. Bert should get touch here.
Yeah, Bert gets touched. Parasite finally gets a decent beat this time. Here comes the bolo shot, not finding any value here. No, my name just finds Synarchy here, but Xerneas is keeping his team alive here. Finding Parasite, trying to stay alive as long as possible with the diva. Throw the defense matrix out. Got to stay on this point. Was going to chase my name Jeff. Here comes the rally. We're going to throw the bomb out immediately again. Strider goes off the map. That's a question mark. That might have been the throw right there. That puts Solar in the driver's seat. They have so many more. The hack comes into a ball here. And it looks like it's slowly slipping away for Checkmate right now.
Yeah, they hold on, and it's going to be a Venture ult versus the Juno ult, as well as the Pulse Bomb. Strider got to come up big, and we're in final fight territory. This matchup has been so close, and it's coming down to the final fight, Alex. Really, it could go either way, and I don't know who's going to come out with the win.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, this Pulse Bomb got to go crazy here, because as soon as Xerneas has that ult, it might just be over for Checkmate here. Oh, talking about which Strider gets Pertfield. That's big. Pulse Bomb going kind of wide here. Team Solar is forced off the point for the most time here. Trico finds Xerneas. Checkmate back in the driver's seat now. Everyone's super low for Solar right now. Here comes the excavation, finding one. Strider finding another one right here. It looks like it's all over for Solar, as the Tracer is going to be the last to get the touches in here.
Gets another touch, but that's going to be it. And Checkmate, what a close game. Goes all the way, super close. What just an insane game. Unfortunately, the ball synergy does trump. The biggest, hardest thing to fight there. It's just that Xerneas is so squishy to that ball. But such a great game from both teams. Solar definitely a lot better than teams were anticipating. They're definitely going to do very well the rest of this bracket. With that being said, we are going to take a little bit of a short break as we get an interviewer from Checkmate in as we finish up the last game of our stream. So do not go away. It'll be just a few moments. Checkmate.
What are we getting?
I'm going to see.
Do you not know the Lower Pine Pogo Bombs?
No.
right, hello, folks. We're back, and we're doing interviews this time. This time, we got two lovely players. We have Pickle and Strider here. Say hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
How you guys feeling after that?
Oh, that's innocent. Yeah.
Feeling pretty good.
Yeah, that was a game of all time. Shout out to all of Solar though. That game could not have been any closer.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. Something we were talking about on stream a lot was y'all's Hollywood defense. Strider, you just took over the lobby, bro. I mean, you just owned that lobby. You put it on a belt, and it belt the ass. I don't. I mean, I'm just. But you guys typically, we see a lot seen speed in this tier, especially tends to do better than like some sort of auto brig. Traditionally, y'all stuck to your guns. You kept out the auto brig. What was the mindset of that? Like just keeping it. What did you guys think? Going against that that Lucio Kiriko. How did you guys slow the game down to match the pace you wanted to run?
We
Sure, you
played
want
a
to go
little
first?
bit. Yeah, we played pretty strategically. So like, what we would do is we would pre-fight. We would get scouting information and then set up our backline based off of that, making it like extremely difficult for any dive or any speed to actually get to our backline. And shout out to well, whether it be Reese or Parasite, both of our brig players are pretty experienced, so we like to run that on a brig.
I'd like to add on to that. I think also shout out to like everyone on the team because our comms were like in flow. We would also like calculate our who we would look at. Like for example, if Rev would pick up over a corner, like we'd go after him first. We'd go after like then a support. Go after like the Lucio if the Lucio was rotating. And shout out to like Gibby for sure. Trico, he would perfectly call like, hey, go for this person. This person's looking to dive us, and just full on stopping the dive.
Yeah, for sure. And I mentioned Strider taking over the lobby because it felt like Solar just couldn't close the distance between themselves, and that's probably what you guys just mentioned, probably partially as to why. Moving on to Suravasa, map pick. There was a lot of fights. To be honest, you guys should have won. There's a lot of fights y'all should have lost. You're down 2-1. It goes all the way to 99 on the fourth point. What do you guys do to get yourselves back in it? And what are the comms like just to like stay focused enough to win that 99-99?
I think
Um,
first and most importantly is just knowing what to do, like when to hold close, when to back up, and also when to use ults. Because there were a few times that we were trying to use an ult that fight, ended up not using it, and we kept saying, "Hey, don't use any ults. Use it for next fight." And we had like 3 ults that remaining fight, and we knew that Solar had just used 2 or 3, and we knew if we just cycled the ults correctly, we would win.
Anything you want to add, Shredder?
yeah, I think that it was personally just us, our fight planning, because during that situation, even though it was like high stress, we were still fight planning and not really like shutting down or anything. We stuffed the choke to prevent them from getting a touch. Specifically, I was marking Tracer in that moment, trying to make sure that they can't get past a touch. And it just worked. The fight planning, if it's on point, it usually stands above the old cycling, I think.
Yeah. One last thing before I pass it over to Alex, because I know I'm asking an additional question. Not a use is typically y'all's Tracer player. You ban the cast, and I'm swearing up and down that you're going to put not a use in, but you don't. You keep Strider on the Tracer, and you played well, don't get me wrong, but like, why? I mean, why not put not a use in who's hot on that Tracer?
You want to know the good answer or the sarcastic answer?
Yes.
Not use was gone.
Fair enough.
So
All right, well,
that
I
was
mean,
our whole understanding. And me and Shredder, we had been playing comp a couple days ago, and we had gotten the ball tracer and float just because I knew if Nado was just not for some reason not in the game, that Shredder could always take care of it.
Yeah,
good.
and as a hit scan player, I've always had to have Tracer under my belt, anyways. So it wasn't like a huge swap for me.
Works out. Well, Alex, whatever questions you may or may not have.
Now 2-0 in the standings here. Is there any team that you feel is going to be a threat to you, or any team you're looking forward to absolutely playing?
Looking forward, probably Cuddle Puddle and Blackout. I think they're going to be really tough games, like how we just played to get it today. I also think that Death Blossom's going to have a want revenge after, specifically what we have been saying in general chat. So I think that game will definitely be tougher next time around.
For me, I'd say I look forward to the match with Blackout since Shoreline, our substitute tank, is also on that team. I want to see the fight between our teams. So
Yeah, also Blackout, one of the only other teams that played the ball. So a ball v ball could be exciting to watch. So, well, before we let you guys go, are there any shout outs or anything you'd like to say before we leave and end the stream?
Shredder, you can go first.
I'd like to shout out to our coach, A. Jackson. He kind of helped us in developing our team skills for this, and he was hyping us up the entire time. Every time he'd pipe in, and it kept the morale high. So I had big shout out to him.
Also shout out to everyone that wasn't playing on our team this map, so like Reese and Nada, and also shout out to Know My Name Jeff. He's my guy. He is such an underrated part of this team. You guys will quickly notice him. He keeps the morale high. He keeps the comms fresh. Not many people give him the respect he deserves. That guy is a baller, 100%. Also Gibby and Parasite.
Yeah, Trico did very well today in spot for Reese. Well, that is all that we have for you guys today. Thank you for making it such an entertaining game to end the night. I'm definitely gonna be watching it back before I go to sleep tonight. For sure, that was such a fun game. But we are going to send y'all off, and we're gonna end the stream here. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us for our Summer Showdown Day 1. Don't forget, tomorrow we've got an A stream on Twitch, and then we've got a B stream on our YouTube, which will be lame shout out to Pickle and his crew for getting the B stream, and it's gonna be an even great day. So thank you so much, and we will see you guys tomorrow.
Thank you.